Hi, everyone. Welcome to this IAWJ podcast episode. My name is Audrey Cavanes, and I am the program officer with the IAWJ. And today I'd like to welcome two esteemed IAWJ members, the Honorable Judge Ana Tawana and the Honorable Judge Tapiwa Molele. Justice Ana Tawana is a judge of the Industrial Court of the Republic of Botswana with 32 years of experience on the bench. She is a judicial educator and the judicial coordinator for the IAWJ program in Botswana. Judge Tapiwa Molele is a judge of the Industrial Court of Botswana and was appointed in May 2008. She is a trained judicial educator and is the sitting president of the Botswana Chapter of the IAWJ. We're so happy to have you on today to discuss the Promoting Inclusive Justice in Botswana program. To jump right in, Judge Tawana, could you tell us a bit about the program and its overall goals for the benefit of our listeners?
Thank you, Audrey. Thank you for having me here. And this program in Botswana is called Inclusive Justice. What we have here is a two-pronged program whose aims are as follows. One is for us to ensure that by the time University of Botswana law students graduate, they are well equipped and informed on human rights, especially the rights of the LGBTI. The second leg of that program is to ensure that we equip or enhance the capacity of judicial officers in Botswana on the rights of the LGBTI together with the Yogyakarta principles. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge. At the beginning of 2024, 3 training workshops were held, 2 in Gaborone and 1 in Francistown. As you were present during all 3, Judge Molele, could you tell us a bit about those and their outcomes?
Hi, Audrey, and thank you for having me. Hi, Judge Tawana. We had 3 training sessions, 1 in Francistown in the last days of January and 2 in Gaborone. Now, each session had participants ranging from 20 to 25 in number, and comprising of magistrates, clerks of court, and bench clerks. Now, the manual was for purposes of these particular sessions, the manual was modified, although without losing the essence of what we want to share about inclusive justice. We had to take into account the fact that many of the participants in the 3 groups did not have legal qualifications. So the modules were less technical in that we had removed or modified some of the legal technical aspects to make the manual easier to understand and work with. Now, each of the 3 groups was dynamic in their own way with different levels of energy. But what is significant is that the participants, first of all, they appreciated and they enjoyed the training. They have, at the end of each session, clearly understood what inclusive justice is about. They have come, I think for me, what is important is that they have come to appreciate that there are different vulnerabilities and that each vulnerability has its own peculiarities when accessing justice. And I think that's important for them because they are right at the entry level of the administration of justice when people come in to seek justice. And when they understand, when they appreciate, and when they are able to separate their personal views and sensibilities from what they are required to do, it means that we are well on the way to achieving equal justice and access to justice for all.
Thank you. And I believe that we also have a clip of some short intervention from Chief Mosojane. I don't know, Judge Tawana, if you would like to set up this clip before we play it?
Thank you again, Audrey. Just the Chief Musojani was a chief in Francistown. She's now retired. In that clip, in that conversation, she gives us a picture of what our society is really about today. That our society is now engulfed in fear of accepting the fact that you may one day encounter a situation, even in as close as your family member, saying to you, I'm neither female nor male, and that I have my own chosen gender, and that with that fear, it makes people sort of reject members of the LGBTI community. And her views from a traditional or customary point of view is that there is need for the modern day society to accept that there is indeed a wind of change that has swept the country. She gives an example of her being in close to her 70s, that she has witnessed the society's attitudes gradually changing, with people now being free to talk about their LGBTI status. Unlike in the past, where people would sit in their own cocoons and people would start gossiping about the manner of their dressing. And I like it when the chief also sort of touches on the Court of Appeal's views in the landmark decision of Mitsidi Mang, which outlawed same-sex relationships, where she says that Botswana society is no longer who they were some 20 or 50 years ago. Societal views have changed. People have also changed. And there's also now the need for us to address this fear, either going through counseling so that we may see where society is leading to. Otherwise, we are going to be left in the lurch if we don't jump into this new bandwagon. Thank you, Audrey. I hope I've answered that.
Yes, thank you. Let's listen.
In the 3 generations I've gone through, when I was 20, when I was 40, when I was 60 now, I'm over 70, I've seen things change. One of the things that have changed is that people are free to tell you who they are. Even your son is free to tell you who they are. So I have no quick fix, no quick answer. But the truth of the matter is that we have to acknowledge that apart from male and female, there is other. And if this other happens to be in my yard, in my bedroom, what do I do? Accept.
Was there anything else that you wanted to add, Judge Tawana, to this clip?
Yes, this goes on to even confirm the attitude of members of the judiciary who have since received this training since the inception of this project in 2020. You'll agree with me that in 2020, when we kicked out this program, we had 3 powerful figures coming in to pledge their support. I say powerful because these are not just national, but international figures, starting with Judge Monageng. Judge Sanji Monageng is one of the authors of the Yogyakarta Principles. She came in and shed more light on what these principles mean and the background to these principles and events that were taking place worldwide, leading to them coming up with the Yogyakarta Principles. We also had, at the inception of this program, the Chief Justice of this Republic, who is not just the Chief Justice, but also sat in the landmark decision that outlawed the law that prescribed penalties for same-sex relationships. And he came in and said, as head of the judiciary in Botswana, he embraces the changes that have taken place within the society. He even said this project should not even end before we've covered the entire country. in the form of training all the key judicial officers on what the Yogyakarta principle mean and what inclusive rights means insofar as the LGBTI community is concerned. And we also had at that very inception in our midst, the very judge president of the highest court of our land, who said in that decision at that time, who had also 20 years ago refused to come up with this judgment, saying that 20 years ago, society in Botswana was not ready. We felt that society was not ready. You see here now, Chief Musojani just comes in nicely to confirm that even from a traditional point of view, Botswana was not ready, but Botswana is now ready. It is time now. So she confirms it from a customary law point of view. And the judge president had said, in Mutsidi Mang, we revisited our views 20 years ago and felt that no, with the research that we have now, with all the information that we have, with the Yogyakarta principles and other issues that are taking place around Botswana, society is now ready to say it's no longer an offense for couples of same sex to decide on what they want to do. Actually, we need to protect their rights to privacy. And I want to say that the same is mirrored through all the judicial officers who have undergone the training. They came out and said, before coming to this training, this is where we were. Now, we now appreciate the fact that you can't talk of justice for all if you don't include all community members, including the LGBTI. People were also coming in to give their own perceptions and prejudices that they have held, especially in the form of employing within the judicial system members of the LGBTI. And they were saying, we are now going to revisit our views. We now hold an independent and informed view. It was because of ignorance that we discriminated as a judiciary against members of our community. I hope I've answered you, Audrey.
Yes, and you've spoken about the impact that we have seen over the course of the program. Judge Moilele, I don't know if you would like to speak a little bit about the challenges and lessons learned you've seen throughout facilitating the training workshops under this program.
Yes, thank you, Audrey. I think the lessons that we've learned is what has come out of these trainings is that we've achieved what we wanted to in terms of sharing the message around promoting inclusive justice. We have observed the participants engage in lively debates where they've been able to share their experiences, share their views, and their beliefs around, LGBTI. And they've been able to engage the issues. Everybody who came in to start training came out a changed person. Changed in the sense that some of them learned a lot of what they didn't know about. A lot of them were telling us how they did not even know that the LGBTI community were suffering and were experiencing trauma, assaults, abuse, discrimination. They didn't know. And they were surprised at the kind of statistics they were learning about and the experiences from the videos and other material. So they came to the realization that I may not necessarily approve or accept this lifestyle, but I realize that this is a reality. These people are part of the community and they actually experience a lot that needs to be addressed and dealt with. In terms of challenges, I think our greatest challenge really was time. in relation to these 3 training slots, because we needed to kind of compress all our material in order to manage to reduce the time away from stations by the participants. We didn't identify that many gaps in the training, because the training, I think we successfully modified it and tailored it for the group, the specific group that we were dealing with. But what I could say is that a lot of the participants were interested in a portion in training that could get them to interact with somebody from the LGBTI community who has, lived experiences, to share, to learn about lived experiences from someone in the LGBTI community, in order for them to really come to appreciate, the experiences and the challenges they face and how even they feel they could be assisted when they come to court, when they approach other service providers in the community. But all in all, I would say that the 3 sessions have been successful. Most of the people we were training were non-legal people, but they all came out with a keen understanding and appreciation of the issues, both the social issues and the legal issues. And I think I also appreciated how they were able, after a few sessions, they were actually able to assess the level of compliance, if I could say, how well the IAWJ, the Administration of Justice, is doing in terms of providing what is necessary and accommodating the needs of vulnerable groups when they come to court. And this was in relation to all vulnerable groups, which shows that they really had, right from the beginning, they had a keen understanding of the fact that the LGBTI are not just an isolated group. They're just one of many vulnerable groups that we have in our communities. So I appreciated the fact that they were able to assess their performance and say, in terms of providing what vulnerable groups need when they come to court, the administration of justice is at 60%. We could do better. And after this, we think we can do even better. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you, Judge Molele. Judge Tawana, any final thoughts you'd like to leave with us?
What I can say is that this program has revealed to me that there has been this big vacuum and large ignorance from people that one would ordinarily have thought that they are the protectors of everyone's rights in Botswana. And it's largely based on the fact that, like Judge Mosojane said, there's fear. That fear makes you reject what you don't know. Now, this project has really paved way to a justice for all in Botswana. It has given us an opportunity to be able to produce a cohort of attorneys who will come from law school ready to hit the ground running in terms of human rights aspects of the LGBTI, again, facing the same courts that are able to deal with the challenges that are on the ground. It has also ensured that as judicial officers, we also hear from members of the community and hear their problems and challenges. Watch video clips of the matters that take place around this community, things that we would ordinarily not have known of had we not begun this program. So my last word is to the IAWJ. Thank you for believing in the Botswana chapter of the International Association of Women Judges, that when we approached you over this, you did not hesitate, but took a gamble and dealt with us. over this project, and as it nears its completion, we can assure you that Botswana as a whole, all the courts have been covered in terms of training of staff, including those who do the translations in our courts have undertaken courses which Judge Mulele made mention of. Otherwise, I thank you for having us around, and thank you. Have a good afternoon.
Thank you, Judge Joanna and Judge Mulele, for joining this conversation and sharing your insights on the Promoting Inclusive Justice in Botswana program and its activities. And thank you to our listeners for tuning in. We hope you found this conversation interesting. If you'd like to learn more about the program and about other important IAWJ initiatives, please visit our website at www.iawj.org. Thank you.